ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Welcome everyone. Hare Krishna. My obeisances at the lotus feet of all the wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Let's start off by chanting the verses of this chapter. Today we'll go up to 30. From today onwards, we'll go up to 30. And after that, we'll continue our discussion. Let's get started. Shri Shuka Uvacha Kvachit Vanashaya Mano Dadadvrajat Pratas Samuthaya Vayasya Vatsapan Prabodhayan Shringaravena Charuna Vinirgato Vatsapurassaro Hari Tenaiva Sakam Pratuka Sahasrasha Snigdha Sushikvetra Vishana Venavah Swan Swan Sahasro Parisankhyayanvitan Vatsan Puraskritya Vinirya Yurmuda Krishna Vatsairasankhyatai Swavatsakaन् चारयन्तोर्भलीलाभिर्विजरुस्तत्र तत्रः फलप्रवालस्तवकः सुमनपिच्छधातुभिः काचगुञ्जामणिस्वर्णभूषिता अप्यभूषयन् मुष्णन्तोऽन्योन्यशिक्यादीन् ज्ञातान् आराच्य चिक्षिपुः तत्रत्याश्च पुनर्दूराधसन्तश्च पुनर्ददु यदि दूरं गतः कृष्णो वनशोभेक्षणायतम् अहं पूर्वम् इति संस्पृश्य रेमिरे केचिद्वेणुन् वादयन्तोद्मान्तशृङ्गाणि केचन केचिद्भृङ्गैः प्रगायन्त कूजन्त कोकिलै परे विच्छायाभिप्रधावन्तो गच्छन्तः साधुहंसकै बकैरुपविशन्तश्च नृत्यन्तश्च कलापिभिः विकर्षन्त कीशबालान् आरोहन्तश्च तैर्ध्रुमान् विकुर्वन्तश्च तैः साकं प्लवन्तश्च पलाशिषु साकं भेकैर्विलङ्घन्तः सरितस्रवसम्प्लुता विहसन्तः प्रतिच्छाया शपन्तश्च प्रतिस्वनान् इत्थं सतां ब्रह्मसुखानुभूत्या दास्यं गतानां परदैवतेन मायाश्रितानां नरदारकेण साकं विजह्रुकृतपुण्यपुञ्जा यत्पादपां सुरबहुजन्म कृच्छ्रतो धृतात्मभियोगिभिरप्यलभ्य स एव यदृग्विषयस्वयं स्थितः किं वर्ण्यते दिष्टमतो व्रजौकसाम् अथागनामाभ्यपतन्महासुरस्तेषां सुखक्रीडनवीक्षणाक्षम नित्यं यदन्तर्निजजीवितेप्सुभिः पीतामृतैरप्यमरैः प्रतीक्ष्यते दृष्ट्वार्भकान् कृष्णमुखानघासुर कंसानुशिष्टः स्वकीबकानुज अयं तु मे सोदरनाशकृतयोर्द्वयोर्ममैनं सबलं हनिष्ये एते यदा मत्सुहृदोऽस्तिलाप कृतास्तदा नष्टसमाव्रजौकसः प्राणे गते वर्ष्मसुखानुचिन्ता प्रजासवस्प्राणभृतो हि एते इति व्यवस्याजगरं बृहद्वपु स योजनायाममहाद्रिपीवरं धृत्वाद्भुतं व्यातगुहाननं तदा पथि व्यशेतग्रसनाशया खल धराधरोष्ठो जलदोत्तरोष्ठो दर्याननान्तो गिरिशृङ्गदंष्ट्र द्वान्तान्तरास्यो विततात्वजिह्व परुषानिलश्वासदवेक्षणोष्ण दृष्ट्वा तं तादृशं सर्वे मत्वा वृन्दावनश्रियं व्याताजगरतुण्डेन युत्प्रेक्षन्ते स्म लीलया अहो मित्राणि गदत सत्त्वकूटं पुरस्थितम् अस्मत्-saṅgrasana-vyātta vyāla-tuṇḍāyate न वा सत्यम् arka-karāraktam uttarā-hanuvad ghanam adharā-hanuvad रोधस्तत्प्रतिच्छाययारुणं प्रतिस्पर्धेति सृक्कभ्यां सव्यासव्ये न गोदरे तुङ्ग-śṛṅgālaयोऽप्येतास्तद्दंष्ट्राभिश्च पश्यत āstṛtāyāma-mārgoऽयं रसनां प्रतिगर्जति येषामन्तर्गतं ध्वान्तम् एतदप्यन्तराननं dāvoṣṇa-khara-vātoऽयं श्वासवद्भाति पश्यत tad-dagdha-sattva-durgandho antar-āmiṣa-gandhavat asman kimatra grasita nivishtan ayam tatha ched bhagavat vinangshati kshanādaneneti bhakaryushanmukham vikṣodhasanta-karataḍa-nairyayor इत्थं मिथो तथ्यमतज्ञभाषितं श्रुत्वा विचिन्त्येत्यमृषा मृषायते रक्षो विदित्वाखिलभूतहृत्स्थित स्वानां निरोधुं भगवान् मनो दधे तावत् प्रविष्टास्त्वसुरोदरान्तरं परं न गीर्णाशिशवसवत्सा प्रतीक्षमानेन बकारिवेशनं हतस्वकान्तस्मरणेन रक्षसा तान् वीक्ष्य कृष्ण सकलाभयप्रदो ह्यनन्यनाथान् स्वकरादवच्युतान् दीनांश्च मृत्योर्जठराग्निघासान् घृणार्धितोदिष्टकृतेन विस्मित कृत्यं किमत्रास्य खलस्य जीवनं न वा अमीषां च सतां विहिंसनं द्वयं कथं स्यादिति संविचिन्त्य ज्ञात्वा विषत्तुण्डमशेषदृग्हरि तदा घनच्छदा देवा भयादाहेति चुक्रुषुः जहृषुर्ये च कंसाद्या कौणपाद्वगबान्धवा तच्छ्रुत्वा भगवान् कृष्णः सार्भवत्सकम् चूर्णी चिकीर्षोरात्मानं तरसा ववृदे गले हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. I offer my obeisances and wholeheartedly welcome each one of you, all wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis joining us from different parts of the world. And for so many days, we are all glued to the descriptions of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, nectar dripping from the lotus lips of Srila Shukdev Goswami, given by Srila Prabhupada, decorated by all the commentaries of so many acharyas, presented with so much compassion by the predecessor acharyas for the benefit of mankind. So on this very wonderful day of Deepavali, we want to just start off by realigning our focus on the lamps of wisdom. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Tesham evanukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atmabhavasto jnana deepena bhasvata. Krishna says in the Gita that for those who are, now this word Tesham goes with the previous verse, Tesham satata yuktanam, and that Tesham goes with the previous verse, Matchitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam. So these verses are found in the Chatushloki of the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says, Matchitta, those who are Matchitta, they have given their chitta to me, and Madgata prana, they have given their life to me in serving me. Bodhayanta parasparam, and whomever they meet, they are always absorbed in hearing and describing Krishna. Bodhayanta, enlightening each other. And kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti charamanti cha. Pure Vaishnavas, their minds, their hearts, their time, their tongue, all their senses are dipped in the ocean of seva. So through the ears, they are hearing about Krishna. Through the tongue, they are chanting, they are glorifying, they are singing. Through the eyes, they are only glancing the deity form of Krishna. Yat Krishna pranipata dhuli dhavalam tadvarshma tadvaishiras te netre tamaso jite suruchire yabhyam harir drishyate sa buddhir vimalendu shankha dhavala ya madhavadhyayini sa jivhamrita varshini pratipadam ya stauti narayanam. King Kulashekar Alvar has described that those eyes which have given all the bad vision of this world and only glance at the beauty of Krishna's deity form, those eyes are first class in this world. And that head which bows down to the lotus feet of Sri Hari, that head which bows down to the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas, that head which is not heavy by the weight of pride, of swa-saubhagya sukha, of the joy of one's own good fortune. Somebody is not drowning in the ocean of the pride of the good qualities that they have. In fact, they're drowning in the ocean of constantly offering obeisances to Krishna. That head is first class, which constantly bows down before others, which bows down to the Vaishnavas, which bows down to Sri Guru, which bows down to the deity form in the temple. That head is first class. Those eyes are first class. And sa buddhi vimalendu shankha dhavala madhavadhyayini. That mind is spotless like the moon. It's tumultuous. It's loud, roaring like a conch shell. That buddhi is white. Vimalendu shankha dhavala. As white as a conch shell, or as white as a spotless moon. Ya madhavadhyayini. That mind which constantly remembers Madhava, Krishna. And that tongue is first class. Sa jivha amrita varshini pratipadam ya stauti narayanam. That tongue is dripping nectar at every step. Which tongue? Which is constantly chanting the names of Krishna, singing the kirtan of Krishna, and speaking Harikatha about Krishna. So bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Those Vaishnavas who are associating with others to hear Harikatha, to share Harikatha, and Krishna Katha and Krishna Kirtan is their life and soul. For Tesham, for those devotees who are satata yukta, who are constantly attached to Krishna, and bhajatam priti purvakam. Bhaj sevayam, the bhaj dhatu means sevayam, for seva. So those who are constantly doing seva of Krishna, even if they are cooking, yad karoshi yad ashnasi yad juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva mad arpanam. Even if they are cooking for Krishna, they are thinking, oh, Krishna will be very happy. Krishna Balaram will be very pleased accepting this offering. Even if they're going for shopping and getting some grocery items, fruits and vegetables, they're always thinking, I am doing seva. I am Das. I have come out to do seva of grocery shopping for my Thakurji, for my deities. Even if they're cleaning on the day of Deepavali, they're mopping and vacuuming and cleaning. They're thinking, this is the temple of Krishna. I am a resident. He is the president. This is the temple of Krishna. It belongs to him. And I am simply cleaning. As a servant, I am cleaning the palace of my master. So in this way, bhajatam priti purvakam. They are always doing bhajan with affection for Krishna. For such people, tesham eva anukampartham. Krishna wants to reciprocate with such Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Anukampartham. He wants to give his anukampa. Anukampa means kripa. Krishna wants to give his mercy to such Vaishnavas. Tesham eva anukampartham. Only to them he will give his complete mercy. Or anukampartham eva. He only desires to give mercy and nothing else. So two meanings. There is tesham eva anukampartham. That eva, it's an avyaya. It's indeclinable. That tesham eva anukampartham, in that verse of the Gita, eva means only to such people who are always absorbed. Anukampartham, Krishna gives mercy. Only for those who are running like Mother Yashoda behind Damodar and trying from sunrise to sunset to bind him, even if they are not able to. We fall 7, we rise 8. Yes, I failed yesterday, but today hum honge kamyab. So those who are doing bhajan with that confidence every single day, only to them anukampartham, Krishna gives mercy, complete mercy. Or anukampartham eva. To such Vaishnavas, Krishna will not give anything else. He will only give his mercy. Ama bhaje vishay mage ei bada murkh. Those who do bhajan and they ask Krishna for material things, Krishna says, Ama bhaje vishay mage ei bada murkh. He is doing my bhajan and he is asking for temporary things. He is a very big fool, Krishna says. But ami bidnya ei murkhe vishay kene diva. Nija charanamrita diye vishay bhulaiva. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Charitamrita. That for those who are doing bhajan, those who worship Krishna with all their heart, they are hearing about Krishna, chanting about Krishna, serving the Vaishnavas every moment, and not asking for anything else. Krishna gives himself to such Vaishnavas. Diyamanam na grihnanti vinamat sevanam jana. Even if Krishna tempts them with so many other things, such Vaishnavas don't want. They only want Krishna. They only want the Lord. Like a child who's on the cradle, initially starts to cry and the mother comes and gives some toys, and there are some aerial toys which keep moving. If you twist the key a bit, they keep spinning around and the child starts to laugh. So for some time, the mother will use all these toys. But when the child is really hungry, even these toys won't work. The child starts to kick his legs and he's yelling and howling and screaming so loudly. He only wants the mother, and the mother leaves everything in the kitchen and goes to the child. So similarly, when we start to do bhajan, we are like babies in the cradle. And Krishna may twist the key of the toys around in our life by giving us a bigger home, by giving us more money, by giving us some fame, by giving us some popularity, some promotion, and all of these things. And those are like toys. The mother, that is Shri Krishna, wants to see how much hunger this child has developed. So if as a child we are happy just seeing the spinning of these toys, sometimes people say also, भगवान की कृपा से अब बड़ा घर मिल चुका, भगवान की कृपा से बड़ी गाड़ी हुई, भगवान की कृपा से सब कुछ खुशल मंगल है. सत्य है, ये भी भगवान की ही कृपा है, पर वास्तविक कृपा नहीं है. This is also Krishna's mercy, but this is not the true mercy. When Krishna really gives mercy, what happens? He doesn't keep any toys around. He runs to the devotee. Yasyaham anugrihnami harishet dhanam shanai. Akinchani kritya padashritam ya karoti bhikshum patigeha dhanam cha manam cha tathendriyani pranan cha ritva mama sarvameva. Kehinapyaho bhishana chaura idrik drishta shrutova na jagatrayepi. Sripad Bilvamangal Thakur has said, when someone as a child, pure devotee, develops this hunger as a baby in the cradle, that I don't want any toys, O mother, I only want you. And Krishna runs to such devotees, like Draupadi Devi, like Gajendra, like Prahlad Maharaj. Those are the babies who cry for the mother, not for the toys around in the cradle. So Krishna says, Anukampartham, only to such devotees who are sincere, who are strict, who are serious, who are steadfast, who are confident, who are enthusiastic, who are patient, who are non-critical with others. For such people, tesham eva anukampartham. What does Krishna do? Aham ajnanajam tamah nashayami. I destroy traces of ignorance that may be left in their heart. And how do I do? How do I do that? Jnana deepena bhasvata. I place the lamp of transcendental knowledge in their heart. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashita. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashita. He keeps the lamp in their heart. And what is this lamp? What is this Jnana Deepa? Yasvanubhavam Akhila Shruti Saramekam Adhyatma Deepam Atiti Trishamtamondam Samsarina Karunayaha Purana Guhyam Tam Vyasa Sunumupayami Kuru Munina. Bhagavatam describes this Adhyatma Deepam, this Jnana Deepa is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So to such Vaishnavas, what does Krishna do? He places Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in their heart. And how is it placed? Bhaswata, very effulgent. That Bhagavatam is placed in their heart, but that light comes through their eyes. If there is a lamp kept and there is a transparent glass, and you can see through the glass a lamp kept inside. So you can see the lamp is inside, but the light comes outside because it is transparent glass. Similarly, for those whose consciousness, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, has become like transparent glass, the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam lamp is kept in their heart, and that light can be seen through their face, that can be seen through their eyes, that can be seen by rivers of Harikatha coming through their lips. This has been described in 4th canto Bhagavatam also. Tasmin mahanmukharita madhubhish charitram. That rivers of Harikatha come from the lips of a sadhu in whose heart Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam lamp has been placed. So on this day of Deepavali, we not just want to place lamps outside, but we want to pray to Krishna, may my heart be attached to the Jnana Deepa, the Bhakti Deepa, the lamp of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in my heart. And there are many beautiful parallel meditations for Deepavali. Another very wonderful meditation is Goswami Tulsidas Ji has given this very beautiful example of placing a lamp at the doorstep. He says that when you place a lamp at the doorstep, then the light of the lamp comes inside the house and outside the house, both places. If you place the lamp inside the house, light is only inside. And if you place it outside, it's only outside. But agar ghar ke chaukat pe rakha jaye, if you keep it on the doorstep, effulgent light, lamp, then the light comes inside and outside. Shri Goswami Tulsidas ji says, Ram Nam Mani Deep. He says the lamp of our life is the name of Sri Ramachandra. And our tongue is the doorstep because there is inside and outside. The tongue is the perfect doorstep because it's inside the body, but at the same time, the expression is outside for people who hear it. So if you can place the lamp of the holy name of Ram on the doorstep, the tongue of our existence, then what happens? Two things happen. The light comes inside and the light goes outward, which means inside, we are always effulgent. Inside, we are always happy. We are never confused. Vyamoha prasham aushadam muni mano vritti pravritta aushadam. Inside, there's the light of joy. One is never confused, bewildered, and one is never in any way in life confused with decision making. One is always happy. One is always effulgent and realized. So the lamp light comes inside. And what about outside? Our vision of this world, sanjeevane kaushadam. Our vision of this world is brilliant. We will never complain and we will never peck into the faults of others. Instead, one will have a very beautiful vision of this world. Even Dhruva Maharaj has said, Yonta pravishya mama vachamimam prasuptam sanjeevayatyakila shakti dharasvadhamna anyam shahasta charana shravanatvagadin pranam namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. All the senses become rejuvenated. You see, when there is no soul in the body is dead. But when the soul enters, everything, it's like fresh light comes in. So similarly, when the holy name torchlight is kept on the tongue doorstep, then there is light inside. One is very effulgent and enlightened. And at the same time, one's vision of this world, perception of the circumstance, everything is effulgent. So that is also another meditation of the holy name lamp that we want to place today. And finally, another meditation comes from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, where he says, O be prema pradipe arati tomar. O Krishna, I want to perform arati, not just with external lamps, but I want to perform arati of your form with prema pradipe, with the lamp of pure love. Everything that I want to do for you, my Lord, I want to do it with pure devotion. Like Hanumanji. Prema Pradeep. Oh, his body was on fire. And he offered arati with his tail. What kind of arati? He set Lanka on fire. Even when his tail was on fire, he used that fire in the service of Yat Karoshi, Tat Kurushma Madarpanam. If you want to extinguish the fire, then do it by setting Lanka on fire. So Hanumanji offered the lamp of love. Instead of just offering it externally, his tail was set on fire, and with that he served Sri Ramachandra. So in this way, we want to set our life on fire. Not literally, but definitely symbolically and through inspiration. We want to set our life with the fire of devotion in this human form. So with these meditations, we pray to Krishna that, my dear Lord, as we are placing lamps outside, may we go deeper in our relationship with your lotus feet. This is our sincere prayer. Now, back to the verses of the 12th chapter of the 10th canto, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. We will go a little faster today because the boys are observing the snake. And it's quite an exciting conversation where from text 18 onwards up to text 23, which I will attempt to cover today, fast moving. The boys are looking at the mouth of Aghasur and they give parallels for every aspect of the cave. So let's see what the boys have to tell us. So this is text 18. dṛṣṭvā tam tādṛṣaṁ sarve matvā vṛndāvana-śriyam vyāttājagara-tuṇḍena utprekṣante sma līlayā. Līlayā, playfully, which also our acharyas explain, which means that they never got scared. They didn't think that it was a snake. Līlayā, Leela bhav se, in the mood of a frolic. Just like they have been playing around in the forest for some time, they think this is another opportunity to play. Agasuram dṛṣṭvā, seeing that Agasur, vṛndāvana-śriyam matvā, considering that to be the splendor, the beauty of Vrindavan. Yadyad vibhuti mat sattvam Śrīmad-Urjitameva va tat-tatevavagachatvam mama tejāṁṣa-sambhava. As Krishna says, whatever splendorous you or beauty, wonder, astonishing things that you see around, please know that to be only a spark of my splendor. Gita. So the boys are actually implementing that verse by saying yadyad vibhuti mat sattvam. So the word sattva-kūṭaṁ sthitam will come in the next verse. So Krishna is saying, whatever you see brilliant in this world, understand that to be from me. So the boys are actually implementing that. They're seeing Agasur and they find it to be adbhutam. Because the word adbhutam has come before. Dṛṣṭvā. So something that's astonishing. They consider that to be vṛndāvana-śriyam. And vyāttājagara-tuṇḍena hi utprekṣante sma līlayā. He means indeed nishchitam. Definitely utprekṣante. They were making comparisons. They started imagining and speaking to one another their fantasies. Hey, look, this is so amazing. They're talking bodhayanta parasparam. They're enlightening each other. vyāttājagara-tuṇḍena utprekṣante sma līlayā. Looking at this mouth of Agasur, they are convinced that it's a cave. And being convinced that it is a cave, they're telling each other, doesn't it look like a snake? It's actually a snake in the form of a cave, but they are convinced it is actually a cave which happens to look like a snake. So many times you can see in these theme parks that kids go to play. Many times there's like water rides. Many times there are different types of, in routes that they play with. And they're all having different faces. There's different artistic, playful arrangements made just so that children have fun. So every time you see something like that, vyāttājagara-tuṇḍena utprekṣante sma līlayā, tell yourself, talk to your family, talk to your person who's sitting next to you and say, hey, doesn't that look like a snake? It's actually a snake which looks like a cave, but that's a cave. But it's so amazing. Vrindavan is so amazing that they have made a cave, not like a cave, but in the shape of an exciting mouth of a snake, so that all of us have a nice time entering. Srila Prabhupada's purport. Some of the boys, upon seeing this wonderful phenomena, thought that it was in fact a python, and they were fleeing from the spot. They started to run away. Some boys, they got scared. And this is coming from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, by the way. Prabhupada's giving us Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's amazing purport. So it's amazing when you actually read Prabhupada's purports, you can see how Srila Prabhupada has very kindly given the essence of the works of the acharyas. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, one line will be there in Prabhupada's purport. Jiva Goswami's one point will be there in another line in the purport. So it's very exciting. So Srila Prabhupada writes that some boys got scared and they started thinking, hey, well, we'll continue to play. I will continue to swim with the swan. Let's not go there. What if it's a snake? What if it's a snake? Look how Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad writes. Tam agasuram dṛṣṭvā mahasarpa buddhya kanśchit palayamana āśvāsanayanta sarvenye matvā iti nanu re mūಢāha etavat pramana sarpo na sambhavati. When the boys, tam agasuram dṛṣṭvā mahasarpa buddhi, when they looked at the snake and they started thinking, maybe this is a snake, and palayamana, some started to run, the others started ashvasanam. They started pacifying and saying, this cannot be a snake. How can it be a snake? Have you ever seen any snake this big? Dhara dharoshto jalado thoroshto daryana nano giri shringadamshtra. Have you ever seen any snake this big? It's not possible. And look at the length of this cave and how wonderfully everything is carved. Snakes are generally so small. They cannot be this exquisite. So much so that when boys who are actually seeing that this is a snake, other boys are saying, Nanu re mudaha. Oh, foolish children. Oh, foolish boys. Oh, foolish friends. Etavat pramana sarpona sambhavati. This cannot be a snake. Don't unnecessarily imagine wrong things and get scared. Imagine if there is a rope and we imagine that it's a snake in the darkness. So we'll unnecessarily get scared for something that is not worthy of being scared. So in this case, it is quite exciting that it's actually a snake which is appearing like a rope. And the boys are convinced that it is a rope in the shape of a snake. And some boys are seeing that this is a snake in the shape of a snake. And the boys who are thinking that this snake is not a snake, but actually a rope in the shape of a snake, are calling the other boys as fools. It's quite exciting. Quite exciting. The lesson we learn in this context, dear devotees, is this is the vision of this material world. It is actually the snake of death. And all of us are convinced it is a cave for our enjoyment. This verse represents our unlimited ignorance for so many lifetimes. The snake of death is fast approaching. When we are 25 years old, the snake of death has swallowed us up to the knees. And when we are 50 years old, the snake of death has swallowed us up to the hips. And when we are 75% up to the neck, we are swallowed. Only the neck is outside. And anything beyond that is the mercy of the snake. Right? But in Kali Yuga, you can't even predict that. Sometimes it's possible that somebody could be 25, 30 years old. Already 50% life is gone. Right? So, Krishna trasyati kala bhima bhujago. Krishna se sarvam vashe. Krishne bhakti rakhandita bhavatume bho Krishna tvameva ashraya. Only Krishna, who has destroyed Aghasur and destroyed the pride of Kaliya, who has destroyed the snake twice in Krishna Lila. Only Krishna can give shelter for all of us who are scared and afraid of the snake of death. But the point is, we are all devoured by the snake of death, moment to moment. That snake is constantly hovering over our head. This world is the mouth of Aghasur. And Maya means considering it to be a place of entertainment. And there are some fortunate souls who will understand this to be the snake of death. And they will say, Jagat se hat jao ab. There's no need to get involved in this material world. And others will call, Nanu re muda, etavat pramanana sarpo sambhavati. Oh, foolish people, why are you doing bhajan? This is a place to enjoy. And people say, let's make this world a better place to live in. Krishna, who created this world, is saying, Dukhalayam ashashvatam. It is a place of suffering and it is temporary. Yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkhayo naya evati. Krishna says there is only dukkha here. Janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha dosha anudarshanam. How many times the word dukkha has come? He who has created this world is saying it is a place of suffering. In the science laboratory, the scientist who has worked with the chemicals, he has put a little note. Do not consume, poisonous. He who has made the solution is saying that this is toxic. And we are thinking, what can I add into it to make this solution tasty? This is our life is being wasted in this thought process. So we are like these boys. We are hands distance from the snake of death of this material world. And we still consider and we discuss with one another how we can enjoy this world. How this is actually not matvā vṛndāvana-śriyam. We are actually seeing this as the splendor of bhoga vritti, sense enjoyment. Prabhupada's purport: it is not possible that a python like this is staying here. This is a spot of beauty for sporting. This is what they imagined. Because snakes move, snake tongues move, snakes are restless, they slither their way, they are small. And what will they do just keeping their mouth open? So the boys were convinced that this cannot be a snake, but this is actually a cave. They were convinced. Now let's see what happens next. Text 19. Aho mitrāṇi gadata. Oh dear friends, gadata. Gadata means pashyata, vadata. Pashyata means see. Gadata or vadata means speak up. Oh dear friends, do you also see what I am seeing? One boy is saying. अरे प्रिय मित्रों देखो, क्या आप भी वही देख रहे हैं जो मैं देख रहा हूं? Are all of you seeing? मित्राणि बहुवचन प्रयोग हुआ है in संबोधन, in call. Oh dear friends, one leader is saying, Aho, do you all see this wonder? Are you seeing the same thing that I am seeing? Sattva-kūṭaṁ sthitam. Do you see this beautiful cave as if it is a living being? As if it is a living being. Sattva-kūṭaṁ. And what is even more amazing is asmat-saṅgrasana-vyātta vyāla-tuṇḍāyate nava. Asmat means hum sabko, all of us. Saṅgrasana means to swallow. Vyātta, wide open. Vyāla, snake. And tuṇḍa, mouth. Doesn't it seem that the agrabhaga, the front portion of his face, the cave, first of all, it is a cave, and it's amazing that they have carved it in the shape of a snake. And second thing that is amazing is the entry point seems as if we are going to enter through his mouth. Isn't it amazing? Asmat-saṅgrasana-vyātta vyāla-tuṇḍāyate nava. Nava means नहीं लग रहा है क्या आपको? आपको भी ये लग रहा है ना कि नहीं लग रहा है? Are you also feeling the same thing or are you not feeling? आपका भी यही अनुभव है ना? वहां से खड़े होकर देखिए आपको क्या दिख रहा है? आप पास जाकर देखो. The boys are actually putting a big plan. You check from the east, you check from the west, you go close, you go stand behind. And is our opinion consistent? The nava at the end means va, nava. Is it or is it not? Are we imagining? Because if 30 boys have the same opinion, it must be true. One boy is thinking, maybe because I woke up early, I'm still daydreaming. My eyes are still rolling. Maybe I'm sleepy, that's why I'm seeing what I'm seeing. I've never woken up this early. Another boy is thinking, maybe I played too much, I am tired, so my head is spinning in circles and I'm seeing the whole world is spinning. Therefore, I'm seeing some snake-like. It doesn't seem like. So, aho mitrāṇi gadata. Sattva-kūṭaṁ purasthitam. asmat-saṅgrasana-vyātta vyāla-tuṇḍāyate nava. ऐसा लग रहा है ना? मुंह खुला हुआ कोई अजगर लग रहा है ना? है तो नहीं, it is not. But ऐसा प्रतीत होता है. ऐसा अनुभव में आ रहा है. It seems as if it is a snake with an open mouth, as if to swallow all of us. How amazing. How somebody could have created this? They're talking. Another boy is saying, hey, because we all discussed at home that today is our plan to come here. So the boys are thinking, maybe somebody who knew that we are going to come here to the forest, they have kept it as a gift for us. Otherwise, how can this come on all on its own? Somebody else said, but who would have made it this tall? Vrindavan is so kind. This land which gives us fruits and flowers and vegetables and milk has also given us a theme park. Yukta ahara viharascha yukta cheshtasva karmasu. Vrindavan gives us ahar and Vrindavan gives us vihar. It gives us a place to sport and it gives us fruits and vegetables to honor. So it does seem like that, right? Prabhupada's purport. The friends began to discuss among themselves the reality of the wonderful creature laying before them. Was it dead Or was it actually a living python trying to swallow them up? The boys are thinking, what is the reality? ऐसा है कि वैसा है? Teaching us this principle that whenever you're confused about things, consult others, consult other Vaishnavas. When you think it's a snake which is a cave, and you're convinced it's a cave that is in the shape of a snake, don't enter directly. Consult with other Vaishnavas on what they think, on what their opinion is. Every step in life, Tishtan Braje Tat Anuragi Jana Anugami. Walk behind the footsteps of those whom you can trust. So this always helps. Seeking guidance, seeking a nice opinion, viewpoint in life, this advice, it always helps. Recently, His Holiness Janananda Maharaj came to ISKCON Atlanta, and I asked Maharaj, is there any advice for me? Maharaj said the only advice is don't add any more vices in the heart, which means don't add any more negative things, negative emotions or anarthas. That's called a vice, a negative vice. So advice, he said, the only advice is don't add any more vice, anarthas and offenses in the heart. So that's a little advice that I received, and that's for all of us. So as the boys are talking, now they get even more specific with details. Text 20. Satyam arka-karāraktam uttarā-hanuvad ghanam adharā-hanuvad tat-praticchāyayāruṇam. As the boys are asking, gadata, boliye, speak up, and vyāla-tuṇḍāyate nava, ऐसा लग रहा है ना? ऐसा प्रतीत हो रहा है ना? We are feeling like it's a snake with an open mouth, right? As the boys are asking, look how the verse starts, text 20. Another boy says, Satyam, certainly it is true. The verse starts, 20th verse says, Satyam. Satyam, Satyam. Nishchitam. Another boy is saying, it must be true. It is true. Yes, I am also seeing it the way you are seeing it. It is certainly amazing. But I have a doubt. I have a question. Why is the cave so red on the top? That's actually the upper lip of Aghasur. So there's an upper lip and the lower lip that he's opened up, and they're red, completely red. So the boy is saying, yes, it is true. It looks like a snake, this cave. And at the same time, it looks like the open mouth of a snake ready to swallow us. But I have only one question. I don't know why the upper part is red like this. Because caves generally don't have it red. So another boy steps in. So we have to understand this text from 18 to 23 is a conversation. Many boys are speaking. So another boy says, arka-karāraktam. Arka means the sun. And kara means the palms of the sun. And what are the palms? The sun rays. Through the sun rays, the sun touches the planet or the creation. So those are the palms. Tava kara kamalavare nakamadbuddha. So kara means the palms, but it also means rays. Arka-karāraktam means the redness caused because of the rays of the sun. So another boy says, hey, it's simple. Why it is actually red? uttarā-hanuvad ghanam. He says, uttara, jo upar hai, hanuvad. Hanu actually means a jaw, jawline. So like Hanuman, right? In this context, it means it can also mean the cheek, but in this context, it means the lips. So uttarā-hanuvad, the upper part that you see, they're actually clouds. Another boy saying, ghanam. Uttarā-hanuvad ghanam. The upper part that you see there, which looks like an upper lip, those are actually ghanam. Ghana-ghanaton. They are actually clouds. So then another boy says, okay, they may be clouds, but why are they red? So another boy says, arka-karāraktam. Because we have never seen the rising sun in our life. Srila Jiva Goswami Pad says, Aghasur was facing the sun. So Aghasur was facing the east direction. I'll read this. See, Srila Jiva Goswami has written this. Yeah. Srila Jiva Goswami. Vaishnav-toshini. Arka-karāraktam iti esham paschima abhimukha gatis tasya purva abhimukha sthiti iti gamyate pratah. Jiva Goswami Pad says paschima and purva abhimukha. So purva and paschim. Purva is east and paschim is west. So Srila Jiva Goswami Pad says that Aghasur was facing the east direction where the sun was rising. And naturally, the rays of the sun were falling on him. And the boys were facing Aghasur. So boys were facing west with their back towards the sun. And Aghasur was facing the sun with the light, the rising sun coming on him. Sunrise. So the boys are saying, Satyam, ye satya hai. This is certainly true. I agree that this is a cave in the shape of a snake, as if welcoming us into his mouth. But then why is it red? He says, uttarā-hanuvad ghanam. Those are clouds on the top which look like the upper lip. But then why are they red? Arka-karāraktam. Oh, they are reddish because of the rays of the sun. The sun is rising and the fresh morning sun rays, they're all reddish. And those rays are falling on the clouds on the top. And those seem like the reddish upper lip. Then another boy, he stepped in and he said, but I have a concern with this analysis. He says, then why is the lower lip also red? Because the sun is rising. So you think some scientific logic used here. So this is the horizon and the sun is rising. So the rays are touching the cloud. But they are not touching the lower lip of Aghasur. So the boy is saying, if this is because of the sunlight, the sun rays, then the sun rays are touching the cloud and that's why it's red. But why is it also red on the bottom, which is the lower lip? So another boy steps in. Adharā-hanuvad rodha. The word rodha means bhumi here, where the slope where it touches, where the lower lip is touching the earth, that is called rodha. Actually, in the Amara-kosha, yeah, here in the Amara-kosha, Kulam rodascha tiram cha pratiram cha tatam trishu. That the word Kulam, Yamuna ke tat, Kul, Rodha, Pratiram, they're all synonyms in the Amara-kosha. Which means the word Rodha means like a bank or the place, the meeting place. So for the Yamuna, the banks will be where the water meets the ground, right? That's the banks. So similarly here, Rodha would mean where the lip touches the ground. That's the slope. That is Rodha. So adharā-hanuvad rodha, the lower lip where it touches that slope, why is it red? The boy is asking. So another boy steps in and he says, tat-praticchāyayāruṇam. Very simple. Aruna means red and pratichaya means reflection. He said, very simple. Haven't you heard of reflection? He says, the sun rays are touching the cloud, which makes it red. And that's why it looks like the upper lip. And that light is getting reflected down. And therefore, this is reddish. And it seems as if this is the lower lip. Another boy is stepping in and he's explaining. He's explaining all the optics of how there's splitting of the ray of light. Now another boy steps in. Text 21. Pratispardhete srikabhyam savya savye nagodare tuṅga-śṛṅgālayo pietas tad-daṁṣṭrābhiś pashyata. So the word pashyata, vadata, gadata, bhati iva, bhati iti, all these words will carry forward in every verse, which means everything that they're saying, hey, look, do you also see this? Pashyata, the word that you see here. Pashyata means dekhiye. Dṛṣa, dṛṣṭi, dṛṣa pashya means to see. But the word pashyata, gadata means to speak. So it carries in every verse that, hey, look, do you see what I am seeing? And can you confirm and speak up and say what you're seeing? So that's the conversation spirit. So pratispardhete srikabhyam. What does the word pratispardha mean? Pratispardha means rivalry. And this is used in the context of comparisons. Like this is, it's almost like a rival to that. which means it's almost comparing. It looks as a comparison to that. So pratispardhete srikabhyam savya savya nagodare. So naga udara, the word naga means mountain. Ga means gamanam, gamagacha, to walk, and na means no. So naga is a mountain which doesn't move. And nagodare, which means the caves of the mountain. So the boys are saying these caves, savya asavya, on the left and on the right, both sides. This big cave that we see on from the left and from the right, pratispardhete srikabhyam, they look like the ends, the corners of the mouth of a snake. They're analyzing, they're giving details to everything that they're seeing. And now look, another boy is so excited, so excited. He's jumping and he's saying, hey, why are we discussing this outside? Why not we go inside, sit nicely, and we discuss what we saw? So another boy says, what if it's too late by then? Why not we? Because Rajogun means you act first and then you start thinking. And Sattva-gun means you first think and then you act. And Tamo-gun means you don't think and you don't act. Or you just think, but you don't act. That's Tamo-gun. So boys in Vishuddha Sattva, they're thinking. They're analyzing the look before you leap. Before every step that's taken, you analyze it from different angles of vision. So pratispardhete srikabhyam. Srikabhyam means the mouth, the corners of the mouth of a snake. The word srikhani has been used in Shastra, which means to the mouth of a snake. So pratispardhete srikabhyam or srikkibhyam in different parallel patyantar. Savya savya nagodare, the cave of this mountain, from left and the right, when we analyze, it looks like the mouth of a snake, right? They're analyzing, ki cave hai, ki sarve hai. Is it a snake which looks like a cave, or is it a cave which looks like a snake? So one boy says, the good thing is, even if we enter, there is enough place to keep all our prasadam. Because we need to, when you go somewhere, you need to find a locker. You need to find a place where you can keep your stuff. You have to deposit your phone, etc. Any theme park. So the other boy says, where do you see a place, a hook where you can keep all the food stuff? tuṅga-śṛṅgālayo pietas tad-daṁṣṭrābhiś pashyata. So now they are seeing the daṁṣṭra. Daṁṣṭra means the teeth. Daṁṣṭrābhiś, bahuvachan prayog. All these teeth that you see, tuṅga-śṛṅgālayo. They are actually little mountain peaks. But look how wonderfully this person has made it, as if it looks like the teeth. It looks like the different teeth. And the boy is saying they have made it in such a way like hooks, so that we can keep our prasadam. We can tie our cloth. Sushik vetra vishana venava. All our fruits and flowers and all the different decorations that are coming out, and all the berries, and at the same time the cow herding stick, the buffalo horn, the flute, all the silken prasadam bags that we have got, we can tie all of that to these mountain peaks, which are in the shape of a teeth, tad-daṁṣṭrābhiś, and then we can peacefully slide in through that red carpet entry. And we can all play in the cave. And when we get tired, we come out, take our bags, again go inside, sit and eat and sing and dance. And when we get tired, we can come out. Sounds like a great plan. Let's do this, the boys are saying. Another boy starts analyzing. Text 22. āstṛtāyāma-mārgoyam rasanam pratigarjati. Another boy is saying, and not just that, look at how wide the entry point is. It's not even that we all have to go one by one. All of us, we can go together, we can hold hands and walk together, and there's enough space to enter this cave. Saath mein. It's not that one person has to go, then another person. Sometimes, caves can be little small. You have to kind of bend down, crawl on your knees and enter. The boys are used to all this. They say, but this is such a beautiful cave. It's wide, it's long, the breadth-wise, the length-wise, the height, all dimensions, very comfortable. Very comfortable. So, āstṛta, ayama-mārgoyam. Look at the āstṛtāyāma. Look at the dimensions. Marga, this path. This path looks amazing. Rasanam pratigarjati. It looks like the tongue. Rasana means tongue. Rasana means tongue. Tannama roopa charitadisu kirtananu smrityo kramena rasana manasi niyujya. Rupa Goswami Pad has said in Upadeshamrit, Tishtan brajeta tanuragi jananuragami kalam nayeta kilam ityupadesha saram. He says, use your tongue. So here the word rasanam pratigarjati. Actually the word garjati means thunder. But Rupa Goswami Pad in his Prayukta-khyata Manjari, very beautiful book where he writes about how the verb should be used. He explains the word pratigarjati means, again, comparison, to rival. So you cannot separate the word prati and garja here. Pratigarjati should be used together as comparison, as rivalry. So this tongue, it rivals or it compares. This entry point compares to the tongue, right? They're comparing. They're saying the cave looks like a snake. The left and the right parts of the cave looks like the mouth. The entry point looks like a very thick, broad, long, red tongue. At the same time, the sun rays hitting the early morning sun rays touching the clouds, it looks like the upper lip. The reflection feels like the lower lip, right? And esham antar-gataṁ dhvantam etadapyantar-ānanam. Another boy says, and another thing that is really amazing in the creativity of the person who has made this is that he has done it with so much precision and details that the inner part of a cave should always be dark because the light doesn't touch in. And the boy is saying, they have made even that so perfectly because the mouth of a snake, when it opens, it's dark. And the cave, if you see the open end of the cave, some part of the light touches the front portion, but inside there's darkness because the light doesn't come in. So the boys are saying, Esham antar-gatar-dhvantam. And if you also see the darkness of this cave inside, it's naturally dark because of a cave, but antar-ānanam, that is also made so wonderfully as if it seems that this is the inner mouth of a snake. Another boy says, not just the darkness, even the texture of the cave inside looks like the inner part of the cheek of the snake. Because generally, if it's a cave, it's well polished. But if it's a snake, then it's the skin. And it'll have a different color, it'll have a different texture. The boys are analyzing and saying, somebody who has made, they have even kept gaps between the teeth. Between the mountain peaks, the mountain peak gaps, they look like gap between the teeth. And the darkness of the cave has been resembling the darkness in the inner mouth of a snake. So the word antar-gatam dhvantam and api antar-ānanam. Antar-ānanam means inside the mouth. And antar-gatam dhvantam means the darkness inside the cave. And that is pratigarjati. There is a constant comparison there. Spardhete. There is a spardha. There is a constant comparison. And as the boys are speaking, another boy says, not just that, there is even one more striking comparison. And what is that? Text 23. dāvoṣṇa-khara-vātoyam śvāsavad bhāti pashyata. tad-dagdha-sattva-durgandho antar-āmiṣa-gandhavat. This is the final point of their comparison. So they are looking at every minute detail. Now this is a snake. That is a reality. And the snake is acting as if it is dead. So what's amazing is this snake is not even blinking his eyes. Because he's just sitting there with eyes wide open, mouth wide open. Eyes wide open because if he keeps blinking, definitely the boys are not getting there. Definitely. And if Krishna enters, or let's say one or two boys enter and the snake closes his mouth, Then they will realize that this is a demon and others will not enter. Krishna definitely will not enter. So his plan was, I will keep my mouth so wide open that every person touches my tongue with their feet and every boy slides in and I still should be motionless. This was Agasur's samadhi. That till the time I don't get Krishna in my mouth, I am not closing my eyes, I am not closing my mouth. This is the determination needed for a sadhak. I will not close my eyes. I will not sleep. I will not doze off. I will not get distracted. And I will not close my mouth, which means I will constantly chant. Mukunda Madhava Yadava Hari Bolo Re Bolo Bhai Vadana Bhari. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Mukh bhar bhar kar naam japo. Chant the holy name. How many names should one chant? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, fill up your mouth with the holy name. Which means even if you chant a lot, it's never going to be the case that the mouth is full of the holy name. When we eat something, let's say we are eating a rasgulla or two rasgullas, we'll say, oh, wait a minute, mouth is full, right? So we eat till the time the mouth is full, at least till the time the stomach is full. But when we start eating, at least, especially in this world, we see when somebody is celebrating their birthday, 4 people will take a piece of cake and at the same time, they try to push it into a little mouth. They think that mouth is Gopal's mouth, that the whole universe can fit into that mouth. And the person will be struggling. His mouth is full of a cake pieces in the mouth, and he's still trying to cover. He's saying mouth is full. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, fill your mouth with the holy name like that. So like Aghasur, we have to sit in one place and chant with mouth wide open, which means chant continuously. And eyes open. No distraction. No seeing here and there and no going off to sleep. So eyes are wide open looking at the deity. Literally doesn't literally mean you have to stay there without blinking, but it means be focused and sit there till the time Shuddhanam, the pure vibration, Krishna's holy name doesn't enter the mouth. Sit there, put in the effort like Aghasur, right? And if that is your determination, then before Krishna enters, his associates will start noticing us. That's what's happening in this context. The boys are first observing even before Krishna sees. So our Guru Parampara, they are all the associates of Krishna. So if we have the determination of Aghasur, even if we are Aghasur, even if we have made so many mistakes, even if we are very demoniac, if we sit with determination that it's now or never, this life or never. Now I'm going to sit and do bhajan. I'm going to chant, I'm going to hear, I'm going to read, I'm going to serve the Vaishnavas with an open mouth and open eyes. If this is the mood, then the boys, Krishna's friends, which is Krishna's associates, they will first notice us. They will notice our determination. And even if we are very sinful like a snake, they will discuss among themselves, look, this Vaishnava is so great. Although we may be like a snake, they will appreciate the cave in us. Although our mouth is the darkness of the mouth of a snake, still they will appreciate, oh, this bhati pashyata, this looks like a cave, isn't it? This person is so sincere. He's doing bhajan with so much sincerity. And those who are noticed, those who are glanced upon, those who are appreciated by the eternal associates of Krishna, why wouldn't Krishna come in full potency into the life of such a person? This is the determination. This is the lesson we learn. So dāvoṣṇa-khara-vāto. Look what the boys are saying here. This is the last point of the analysis. And from the next verse, mood changes. They will enter actually. So every word is very nice here. Dava, samsara davanala. So davanala means forest fire. So ushna means heat. All adjectives for vata. Vata means vayu, breeze. So this Aghasur, he's sitting with his mouth open. He's sitting with his eyes wide open. But one thing he's not able to do is stop his breathing. Caves don't breathe. But a snake does. And that's one thing he's not able to stop. He's sitting. Jiva Goswami Pad writes, aspandanatvam. He's sitting without movement. So there's no fidgety and there's no eye blink. He's not swallowing and gulping his saliva. Mouth is wide open, eyes are wide open. Boys are convinced it's a wonderful cave. But there's only one concern. Why is this cave breathing? Because caves don't breathe. Why is the cave breathing? So another boy says, the cave is not breathing. That's breeze coming, the breeze of Vrindavan. It's coming because early morning, everything is so fresh, breeze blowing. So that's the breeze that we are touched by. And Vrindavan is perfectly air ventilated. There's perfect air conditioning. So this is the breeze that is coming, and it seems as if it is the breath of a snake. Then another boy says, but itham sharat swachha jalam padmakara sugandhina nyavishat vayuna vatam. Same word. The breeze of Vrindavan is fragrant, it is cooling, and it is slow moving. But this has exact opposite characteristic. dāvoṣṇa-khara-vāto. This breeze, it's very hot. It's not feeling cool. And khara, it's very and it's very hot breath, and it's little intense. It doesn't seem like the breeze of Braj. Shwasavat bhati pashyati. Look, it seems as if it is the breathing. We can feel seems like the inhalation and exhalation of a snake. I don't know why I'm feeling, one boy says. Another boy says, I think this is a snake. Otherwise, this breath cannot be like this. And also, I feel this is the breath of a snake. This is a breath. Antar-āmiṣa-gandhavat. The gandha, the not the fragrance, but the stink that is coming. Antar-āmiṣa. Antar means inside, and amisha means dead meat, dead body. So another boy is saying, this snake has swallowed so many animals, and I think the rotten smell of animals in the stomach of this snake is what is causing this bad breath, I feel. So another boy says, but this is a cave. How can there be any animal that is killed? What could have happened, the boy says. Tad-dagdha-sattva-durgandho. He says, because Vrindavan is a forest, sometimes there are forest fires in Vrindavan, and some animal, unfortunately, may have been burnt alive in the forest fire of Vrindavan. And when the breeze is carrying that stink of the smell of dead animals burnt in the forest fire of Braj, and it is touching the cave and coming to us, it seems as if it is the breathing of the snake. And it seems as if that smell is coming from dead animals in the mouth of that snake. It's actually not the snake. It's a cave. And animals are killed somewhere or dead because of the forest fire. But because the breeze is touching and it's coming through the cave, it seems as if animals are dead inside and that stink is coming through the form of the breath. It seems like that. And therefore, the word bhati and pashyata is carried forward even in this verse. Bhati means aisa abhas ho raha hai, aisa lag raha hai, it seems like. And pashyata again means see. Gadata or vadata means to speak up. So in these set of verses, the boys are asking one another, what is your opinion? Are you also seeing what I'm seeing? And are you also feeling what I'm feeling? Which means either you're scared, don't go inside, or you're excited. Look at the details. They're so nice. They're welcoming. We should go. I've never actually taken a slide and gone inside, which is in the shape of a tongue. I have never actually kept my food in hooks which seem like the teeth. I have never entered a cave which looks the shape of a snake. I have never seen the rising sun where the light touches the cloud, makes it red like the upper lip. I have never seen the reflection of this light seeming like the lower lip. I have never entered a theme park cave like this in the shape of a long snake. And it's not even a small cave. How long was it? 1 yojan. 8 miles, very long cave. So the boys are thinking, so we will slide inside. I can't even imagine if the entry point is so exciting. Maybe inside we will have more playthings to do. They're all talking. Maybe there's a little swimming pool there. Maybe inside there's a little another under-tunnel forest. Maybe there's a waterfall. You never know. If the mountain itself is so well made, what could it be for 8 miles long? It'll be fun. So they're thinking, what should we do now? I think we should enter. And at this point, dear devotees, it also gives us a very important lesson. As we discussed up to text 23, now let's discuss the lesson that we learned from this. There are two lessons that we learned from this section that we read today. One is the vision of a materialistic person, and one is the vision of a pure devotee. The vision of a materialistic person we already discussed. Kala kali balina indriya vairi varga. Shri bhakti marga iha kanthaka koti ruddha. Ha ha kvayami vikala kimaham karomi. Chaitanya chandra yadi nadya kripam karoshi. Sripad Prabodhananda Saraswati in Chaitanya Chandramritam, he has written that what is the situation of people in this world? It's a very dangerous situation. Very, very dangerous. Kala kali balina indriya vairi varga. He explains that Kala Kali Balina Indriya Vaira Varga, that the time that we live in is the snake of Kali Yuga. And at the same time, our senses are like snakes because they're constantly slithering and hissing with poison. Our senses are constantly demanding gratification. Each of our senses is like a snake. What does the snake do? The more milk, the more good leaves you give, its poison increases. Upadesho hi murkhanam prakopaya na shantaye. Payapana bhujanganam kevalam vishabardhanam. You give milk to a snake, what happens? Its poison increases. So our senses are like snakes. The more gratification it's given, more milk you give each of these senses, more poison increases. Who is that person who has enjoyed his senses and said, Swamin kritarthosmi varam nayachi, I don't want anything else? No. The more they watch movies with their eyes, the desire to watch the movie increases. Today it is this movie, tomorrow it's that movie, day after tomorrow another movie. The more you watch cricket with your eyes, today it's one game, tomorrow it's another game. The desire never reduces, it only increases. It's like a forest fire or like a fire, and you add more fuel and you add more ghee to it, the fire just blazes even more. So our senses are like that. They are like a snake. The more gratification milk you give in, the snake will get more venomous, more poisonous. The more we hear the faults of others, we are actually feeding the milk to the snake of the ear, and the poison increases. Now the desire to hear more gossip will go on. But on the other hand, you can see Lord Shiva. He has snakes on his neck and nothing happens. Teaching us, if you perform bhakti, then what happens? These snakes don't control you, you control these snakes. A pure devotee is never troubled by his senses. His tongue, his ears, his eyes, his genitals don't trouble him. In fact, he uses all his senses in the service of Krishna, like how Lord Shiva uses the snake as an ornament. Vaishnava will tell the senses, Dushtaman tumi kishera Vaishnav. Instead of the mind controlling the Vaishnava is reprimanding and controlling the mind. Aye swanta bhrata chatu biravi ache dritapada. Raghunath Das Goswami, mana shiksha. He's giving shiksha, instruction to the mind. Bhajahure mana Śrīnanda-nandana abhaya charanara-vindare. Bhajahure mana. See, all these acharyas are giving instruction to the mind. They're all like Lord Shiva, controlling the snake-like mind. Instead of mind controlling them, they're controlling the mind. They are telling their eyes, through the eyes only see the deity form of Krishna. Through the ears only hear Hari Katha. Like that. So Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati has said, Kala Kali Balina Indriya Vairi Varga. Oh Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I am living in the age of Kali Yuga, which is like a snake himself. And all of my senses are snakes. And now, if I perform bhakti to overcome this situation, then what happens? Shri Bhakti Marga Iha Kanthaka Koti Ruddha. Then my anarthas trouble me. They're also like snakes. Manasi jab phani jushte labdhapatosmi dushte. Srila Rupa Goswami. That when you perform bhakti, lust will trouble, anger will trouble, envy will trouble, and they're all manasi jab phani jushte. Rupa Goswami says they're all like snakes. So look at this. The generation we live in is a snake generation, Kali Yuga. Duplicity, hypocrisy. And the senses that we have, they're also snakes. They're also hissing constantly and troubling us with poison. And if you now take up the path of worshipping the Lord who sleeps on the snake, which means Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam, Vishnu, then that path is also smeared with snakes. The snake-like lust will bite. The snake-like anger will bite. Ha ha koyami vikala kimaham karomi. Prabodhananda Saraswati says, my Lord, karu to main karu kya? Bhajan na karu, to कलयुग का सर्प मुझे डसता है. और भजन का प्रयास करूं तो इंद्रिय रूपी सर्प अथवा हृदय में अंतःकरण में अपराध अनर्थ रूपी सर्प डसते हैं. हे सर्प रूपी प्रभु अनंत देव, मैं करूं तो करूं क्या? Chaitanya Chandra yadi nadya kripam karoshi. Oh Mahaprabhu, if you don't shower your mercy, how will I overcome the snake of Kali Yuga? How will I overcome the snake-like effect of my senses? How will I overcome the snake-like effect of the anarthas in my heart? Oh Vishnu, oh Sri Hari, who dances on the hoods of Kaliya, who destroys Aghasur, who sleeps on the snake bed of Anantashesh. My Lord, if you don't help me, who else will? If you are sleeping on the snake bed, I am also sleeping on a snake bed. Snake inside, snake outside, snake everywhere. My senses are snakes. My anarthas are snakes. Kali Yuga is a snake. Material world is a snake. Time is snake. So Vishnu, not only you are sleeping on Bhujakashayanam, I am also sleeping on snakes. And if you don't help people of your jati who sleep on the snake, who else will? Please help me, my Lord. Please help me. Chaitanya Chandra Yadinadya Kripam Karoshi. If you don't help me, who else will? So, first lesson we learn is the vision of a materialistic person. This material world is very dangerous. It is actually Aghasur. But the materialistic person will be convinced it's a cave for his enjoyment. And he will associate with people, Aho mitrāṇi gadata, who will approve of his thought. That yes, it's a cave. Don't perform bhakti. Don't get scared unnecessarily of this world. Enjoy. Live life king size. They are the mitrāṇi. They are the friends who approve and say, yes, we'll all not just you going alone. We'll all go together. We'll have fun. This is lesson number 1 to be avoided. This is the thing that we should not do. And now lesson number 2, the vision of a pure devotee. The boys teach us that even if a dangerous snake is in front of them, their vision is so pure, they are seeing it as a wonderful cave of Vrindavan. May we develop this vision in life. And this is consistent lesson. This is a consistent lesson. Sa khechari ekadatpatya. When it is described Putana, Nanda Gokulam, Yoshitva Maya Atmanam Pravishat Kamacharini, when Putana came to Vrindavan and she changed her form, how did the gopis, the other mothers, see Putana? Tam Kesha Bandha Vyati Shakta Mallika, Bruhan Nitamba Stana Krichra Madhyama, Suasasam Kalpita Karana Bhushanam Tvisholasad Kuntalam Manditananam, Valgu Smita Panga Visharga Vikshitai, Mano Harantim Vanitam Brajaukasam. Amam satam bhoja karena rupinim gopya shriya drashtum iva gatam patim. Bhagavatam. The motherly gopis who are all looking at Putana, who has transformed her form, Tam Keshabandha Vyatishakta Mallika, seeing her hair well tied with jasmine flower garlands, and looking at how she's smiling and glancing at everyone, and how she has a Krida Kamala, a little lotus in her palms, and how she's having very beautiful, dazzling, effulgent earrings, and she's looking so attractive. She's actually Putana. But the gopis are all discussing, I think this is Ramba or Urvashi who has come from Swarga. Another gopi says, no, I think this is Lakshmi Devi herself. And she has come drashtum iva gatam pati, because her pati, Narayan, is present here as Krishna. He's sleeping on the cradle, 6 days old Narayan. The eternal Lord who's 6 days old. Not that they believe that Krishna is Narayana, but Gargacharya says Narayana samogunai, that Krishna will have qualities like Narayan. So they're kind of chuckling and saying, our little Narayan is sleeping, so why wouldn't Lakshmi come? So at that point, the lesson we learned in the Putana series is, may we develop the vision where even if Putana comes in front of us, we are able to see that she is Lakshmi. In our situation, even if Lakshmi comes in front of us, we'll find faults and prove that she's Putana. And this is the cause of all suffering. This is the cause of all suffering. May we develop the vision of seeing good in others. Srila Prabhupada always said that we should become like honeybees. We should go from flower to flower, only nectar seeking, essence seeking, saragrahi. We should see the nectar. The honeybee goes, it ignores the muddy pool of the lotus flower. It ignores the petals. It ignores everything, the stem, and it goes straight to the whorl, the center. And it drinks the nectar and moves to another flower. So we want to be like honeybees, not like houseflies. Houseflies go from place to place only searching for the dustbin, the trash can. And it hovers over that which is decaying. That which food which has crossed its shelf life period is what the honeybees hover over. They don't go to flowers. They only go to rotten stuff. So if we collect the faults of others, we are like houseflies. And if we collect the nectar in the life of others, seeing the good qualities in others, then we are honeybees. So these boys here teach us that even if Aghasur stands in front of you, see him as matvā vṛndāvana-śriyam. See him as a splendor of the forest of Vrindavan. Even if Putana comes in front of you, see her as Lakshmi of Vaikuntha. This vision may we develop. So in this way, 2 meditations we learned from this section. How not to be and how to be. And how we are not supposed to be. Don't think the snake of this world to be an entertainment cave. And at the same time, even if a snake-like circumstance, a snake-like person comes in, understand him to be an associate of Krishna, a devotee of Krishna, and matvā vṛndāvana-śriyam. Consider the good and appreciate the cave in the snake-like mouth of that person. So we'll pause here. We have finished up to text 23.